Welcome back to Live at Lunch. We're now joined by the 3 candidates for the District 5 Commission race for a live debate. Now, before the show, each candidate drew a number to determine the order. They'll have 1 minute and 30 seconds each for an opening statement. Then the question portion will begin. Each candidate will have 1 minute to answer.
My family moved to Ashford, Alabama in 1976 when I was in the 3rd grade, and we never left. We love it here. The people and places that I care most about in this world are all within a 30-mile radius of where we sit right now. And that's why I'd like to be the next city commissioner for Dothan District 5. While meeting lots of constituents throughout my campaign, they've shared with me some of the skill sets that they believe are necessary to be an effective commissioner. They've told me that they want someone who will ask tough questions. They've told me they want someone that will listen, someone that will follow up and follow through, someone with a business background, someone with great communication skills, someone who is an advocate for our community, and someone with a vision. My vision for Dothan is simple. I want to see it grow, and I believe I can use my business background and extensive contacts within our community to help make Dothan a better place.
All right, thank you. And now Beth.
Hi, I'm Beth Kimward. I have a little bit of a different story from the other 2 candidates. I'm not a Dothan native. Like our mayor, I did not come from here, but I have made this place home. My husband and I have set up business, invested in our community emotionally and financially. I am now part of the fabric of Dothan. I have also knocked on a lot of doors during my campaign process. That process has affirmed everything that I already knew about Dothan. I have prayed in front yards, I have high-fived, I have held newborn babies. It has been amazing to get out and meet some of the citizens in Dothan that I didn't know. As I said, I also want to see Dothan grow. I want it to be the best place that it can possibly be. Now, I have a very broad and rich business background. I've worked for Fortune 500 companies like CBS MarketWatch and Dow Jones News. I've also worked for Fortune 100 companies. I've worked in our nonprofit sector and volunteered extensively in our community. I have gotten to know so many wonderful people through raising money for our nonprofits, our public schools, and now my husband and I own our own business. We purchased property in downtown Dothan partly because we want to see downtown grow. We want to see it flourish. Again, that's part of my emotional investment, and you have my commitment as your commissioner to always follow up, call you back, take your problems and concerns seriously. Thank you.
Welcome back to Live at Lunch's District 5 debate. We'll now begin with the question portion of this debate. And question 1 is, what is the biggest challenge facing District 5?
I believe the biggest challenge facing District 5 and our entire city is job growth. At our current unemployment rate of 5.4%, we've certainly come a long way from the double-digit numbers that plagued our community in 2008, just after the financial crisis. That said, I think we can do better. In my role as Senior Executive Vice President at Personnel Resources, I encounter job seekers on a daily basis who are still struggling to find meaningful work and support their families. I also talk with business owners and leaders on a daily basis who are struggling to find the skill sets that they need in our workforce in order to grow. So if elected, I would do everything in my power to help with job growth, which would include being an advocate for our community. In fact, I've already done that. Just last year, I had a client in Bainbridge, Georgia, who relocated a business to Dothan after talking with me. Very excited about that.
All right, thank you so much, Mary Beth. And now Beth.
Well, out of everything that I learned from knocking on doors, most of the things that our citizens mentioned all had to do with communication and the lack thereof, frankly. When we are clearing land on 84, the citizens around that area want to know what's coming there. Is it residential? Is it commercial? How's it going to affect me in my neighborhood? How's it going to affect traffic flow, for instance? Really, the constituents in District 5, they love our city services, our trash, our recycling, our power, our water, and they don't want it to change. And I think communication is an important part. Now, town halls can certainly help address a lot of that communication factor. And, you know, there is a magazine called West Dothan Neighbors that comes to every single mailbox. It is a free publication. And last week, I actually confirmed with them that they will allow the next commissioner of District 5 to have an article each month in that magazine to be able to effectively communicate with each citizen in District 5. I think it's a great way to do it. And did I mention that it's free?
All right, thank you so much. And now for our second question. In all three of your platforms, you discussed the need to bring new business and more jobs to the area. So how do you plan to accomplish those goals, and what specific industries would be a good fit for Dothan? And we're going to start with Mary Beth this time.
Thank you, Devin. Dothan is already a medical, aviation, and retail hub. So in addition to those industries, I think it would be a good idea to target the industries that have already been identified in Governor Bentley's Accelerate Alabama plan. Some of those industries include manufacturing, logistics, distribution, and agriculture. In addition to that, if elected to the city seat, I think that it's very important that the city continue to support our Grow Dothan initiative. The Chamber of Commerce is doing an outstanding job of bringing new industry to our community, and Commercial Jet and Glasstream are both examples of their efforts. In addition, I also think that we need to have our own local incentive package. That would give us a competitive advantage with, in competing for other opportunities in our city. But big leads are hard to come by, so we also need to do everything we can to foster an environment so that small business can flourish. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mary Beth. And now Beth.
Well, part of any business growth, it's frankly not the city's responsibility to grow jobs. That is the free market's responsibility, and long live capitalism. However, it is the city's responsibility to create an environment to make it easy for business to do business in Dothan, Alabama. That being said, we do need to have some business license reform. I've heard that from multiple small business owners, that the process is rather tedious and rather inefficient. In addition to that, I think we need to make sure that we are utilizing industry information. If we can look at and measure the types of industries that we have here in Dothan, then we can allow that information, we can give it to our chamber, which is basically our economic development arm, and we can say target these specific industry sectors. They can fit right into the framework that we have already built, and in addition to that, we can train a workforce to meet the specific demands of those industries that we've targeted and recruited.
And let's talk public education. What is your position on the state of public education in Dothan, and how do we improve the quality of education for all students? And we're going to start with Beth.
I'm very excited. We have come a long way in public education. Right now, the Wiregrass Foundation and the Dothan Education Foundation are working on piloting a program for community schools. I'm a mother of 2 children at Highlands Elementary, and Highlands is one of 3 schools that is going to be a participant in the Bright Key program. Now, what a community school system is basically the school's grounds are opened up to the community that surrounds the school to offer enrichment programs, things like music, drama, karate. And the idea behind this is that it's worked very effectively in other communities. They're allowing the parents to own basically the whole program and develop it for the kids. I'm excited to see that grow, because the more traffic we bring into our public schools, the more attention they get, the more positive attention they get. And I think we're going to see it have a tremendous impact on people's faith in our public school system.
And Mary Beth.
Sure. As a parent whose children attend public school, I believe that we have a strong public education system. Our key performance indicators are improving, and that tells me that we're doing a good job of taking care of the needs of our students. But in addition, we also need to make sure that we continue to provide for the facility needs of our education system, that we continue to provide professional development opportunities for our staff, and that we also provide our students with the latest technology so that they can have the experience of having a 21st century classroom, so that they can be just as competitive here in Dothan, Alabama as anywhere else in the U.S. and even the world. I also think that it's eminently important that our community be involved in our public school system, which is why, as a business leader and parent, I partnered with some other people last year to host the first ever Carver Careerathon. We were able to raise $14,000 for our PTO and provide a great education experience for our students.
We have reached the end of the debate, and now each candidate will have 1 minute to deliver a closing statement, and we will start now with Beth Kenward.
Well, Dothan, I hope that the fact that I have knocked on many a door in District 5 will indicate to you some level of my commitment to this process and give you some indication of my work ethic. I have met wonderful citizens. It has affirmed everything I've known about Dothan. I've made my home here, and I want it to be the best that it can be. You have my commitment for further communication. You have my commitment to always find and research the answers and bring them to you in a timely manner so that you're aware of what's happening, not only in our district, but in our city as a whole. You know, we have to look beyond our borders oftentimes and realize that regionally we have to make decisions based on what's best for all. I have that very panoramic perspective. I love this place. I want it to be the best it can be. I want the economic momentum to continue to develop, and I want to be part of the team that brings that to fruition. Thank you.
All right, and now we will go to Mary Beth Reynolds.
Thank you. I'd like to start by thanking my family, my friends, my work team, and my owners at Personnel Resources for all of their love and support during this campaign. There is no question that I would not be here today without all of their help. I've had a great time. I have knocked on a lot of doors. We've had 5 meet and greets, and in fact, we're going to hold a 6th. This Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. at Personnel Resources. We're going to open it up again, and I'd love to see all the citizens from District 5 come out. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. I'm Mary Beth Reynolds. I love Dothan. I am passionate about our community. I believe in our citizens. I believe in our body of work. And on February 10th, I need you to believe in me and vote for me, Mary Beth Reynolds, February 10th. Thank you.